Welcome to this edition of Miles Ahead, and you join us to look at this, the Kia Stinger GTS. Now this car, all in, as tested, £43,380. Now my initial reaction to that when I first got in it, first drove it, first saw it is, why the hell don't we see more of these on the road? I mean, it seems extraordinarily good value. Why haven't more people bought them? The options list is incredibly simple. It just comes fully loaded. There's one choice of engine, the 3.3 litre V6, and that's it. Everything we're about to see stand on this car. But anyway, let's crack on and have a look around. I really like this dark red paint. Now, we reviewed a Maserati Levante Trofeo a few videos ago, and this shade of red was a £15,000 extra, but we will carry on as we look on here. So the LED headlights, they obviously come standard on it. They do a really good job in the dark, and you get this nice darkened chrome effect around here, and you've got some vents in here that are real, and you've got the vents down there. It has got these scoops in the bonnet. They're not real, they're serving no purpose beyond the aesthetic. As we come around here, so you get 19-inch wheels. I really like the wheels on this. I think they're really nice looking wheels, those, and you get the Brembo brakes as well. As we come round, a bit more of the darkened chrome, and you get darkened chrome on the wing mirrors too. Now I'll unlock it again. We'll just have a quick look in the back whilst we're here. So jump in here, and seating positions in my driving space. I'm 6'2", loads of room in here. It's really comfortable. You get soft Napa premium leather throughout as well. You've got Harman Kardon audio. You get heated seats in the back as well. It's really good. There's a couple of charging points down here as well. So there's a USB and a 12 volt. So if you've got the latest and greatest phone with a USB-C charger, you will need to bring an adapter. But other than that, there's an armrest in there as well. So you would be very comfortable on long journeys. One other point is that I quite like the shape of these doors. A little bit unusual, but I quite like them for it. I like the way that the roofline slopes away into the rear as well. I think it's actually a really good looking car, this. As we come around the back, we've got quad exhausts down there. Those are just surrounds on there, but you know, there might be one complaint is that you don't hear too much from the V6, but we'll get to that on the drive along. I like the rear lights on this as well. And while we're here, we'll just have a quick look in the boots. Because you've got the hatchback operations, loads of space in here, makes loading really easy. You know, decent materials used in there as well. So far so good. What's it like inside? So this is the driver's seat of the Kia Stinger GTS. Well, I'm going to start with the key. There's a really nice key you get with this, just leather bound. You get the metal buttons on there for unlock and for the boot, and you get the big button on top for locking it. I've driven far more expensive cars with far worse keys than this, but anyway, not exactly a deal breaker, is it? Aside from that, it is really nicely appointed in here. I think it's got a real premium feel to it. As I mentioned, you get the premium Napa leather throughout. In like the gear knob is covered in that as well. And you get this sort of brushed aluminium effect up here, and there's just lots of nice little touches in here. Like you get the sunglasses case up here with the soft material inside, so you wouldn't scratch them. You get this glorious panoramic sunroof which opens as well, which is again a standard feature on this car. These seats too, really comfortable. I mean, you'd be really happy doing long journeys in here. They're heated and air conditioned. All they're missing is a massage function, and you also get heated steering wheel, and you get all your park assist around here. So if we put that into the park now, you can get these really good cameras up here, so it makes it really easy. You can look at the different angles down the side of the car and everything else. And one other function, if we come across to here on the main screen, when you indicate, it gives you the view down the side of the car that you're indicating from. So just like if there was a cyclist alongside you or something like that, you'd be able to tell. I think that's a really clever feature. I've not seen it in any other cars, and I think it's, you know, I think that's a really clever way of doing things. So we shut that off. We'll have a quick look at the infotainment system while we're here. And again, everything in here it's got nice little touches. So if we press the sounds of nature button, for example, so it's got all these ambient sound settings. So you've got rainy day, car motion waves, and it all comes from different sections. It's all perfectly in tune with the Harman Kardon audio, so you get, you know, different sounds from different speakers. It's just really well thought out. I think it's just a nice touch to have on there. Where how much you'd use it, I don't know. But to access everything else in the touchscreen menu, you've got physical buttons down here. So you want to go to radio, for example, just press the radio button. That comes up on here. You can connect your Bluetooth audio pretty easily as well. One point to note: if you do want to hook up Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you have to do it down here. So you have to put a cable into the USB charger down there. There's also a wireless charging port for your mobile phone here, and another 12-volt battery thing there as well. And you can shut that away, which is quite nice. A couple of cup holders down here, one small, one large. As you come into the centre console, you know, plenty of storage space in there. This comes out as well if you need more room as well. Only slight complaint is that you can't raise the height of this. This is just static. It would be nice if it was a little bit higher for the driving, but to counter that, this is one of the most adjustable steering wheels I think I've seen. It just, the range of movement in it is staggering. It goes such a long way forwards and backwards and up. It's really good, and you get the head-up display directly in front of you as well, which seems to float ahead of the bonnet. They've done a really good job with that as well. I mean, there's not really anything to fault in here. I mean, it's really well thought out. I think it's really well put together. It's got a real premium feel to it, which is nice. Okay, maybe the door bins aren't the biggest. If we can see on this one down here, there's not like heaps of storage space in there, but you do get quite a large glove box. I mean, that's got one of the biggest manuals sets I think I've seen in a car, so it needs a big glove box to support all of that sort of stuff. But looking for things to fault in a car at this price point, I mean, you're struggling. I must say, you are struggling. But crucially, for a car with 3.3 litre V6 and pretenses of performance, what's it like out on the road? So, what's the Kia Stinger GTS like out on the road? Is it living proof of badge snobbery, or is it in fact a bit crap? Well, we'll start with the engine note. It's fair to say that the V6 could be a little more sonorous than it is. It would be nice to hear a bit more from it, but it's a minor complaint. I mean, it really picks up pace. It's really brisk, this. You can really hustle it along. As we said at the top, 0 to 60 disposed of in just 4.7 seconds, so it's definitely no slouch. Away from that, it's a really good driving experience actually. I mean, there's a couple of bits to fault, so I will start with those. So we're on a B road at the moment. The steering is a little bit vague and listless. There's nothing in the way of feedback really to work with in there, but it's accurate enough and you can enjoy it. But to compensate that, it's got a really good chassis on it. You get quite a good feel through that with what you're doing. The brakes too can be a little bit grabby at first, so they take a little bit of getting used to. They're not sort of seamless and smooth. Like I say, grabby is definitely the right word for them. And also that plays into this stop-start function, so the auto hold when you're sitting at traffic lights and you put your foot on the brake and it just holds you in position. When you go to release from that, you can feel the revs rise a little bit and then it just jerks forward, and that's it's a little bit disconcerting. We've just got someone in front of me who's just driven over the curb. It's rear-wheel drive, so it does get a bit lively under heavy acceleration. You can feel it start to squirm about a bit, and at that point you can start to feel the weight of this car. So it's just over 1,800 kilograms, and it does feel like you want the traction control on there. If you put it into Sport Plus, that turns all the traction control off. We're reviewing this car in a sort of a damp November. You can feel the traction control working away under heavy acceleration. I think you'd be brave to stick it into Sport Plus, or certainly at least a better driver than I am. It sort of feels like one of those cars that if it goes, it'll go. It'll take some catching. It'll take some recovery. But that rear-wheel drive does lend a certain sense of playfulness to it. You can sort of feel it squirm out of corners, and the traction control does keep things under control quite nicely. So other things that are good in this car, the driving on the motorway, it is so smooth and it's really quiet in here as well. It's a nice car for devouring miles on. It's got adaptive cruise control. The adaptive cruise control, whilst not as good as some other cars have driven, it does work. The lane keep assist is a little bit fussy at times, but I think that's a common complaint across all modern cars at the moment. I think no one's really nailed lane keep assist, and Kia are no exception to that. In terms of it working on the motorway, if you're going around like a long right-hander, it does tend to sort of bounce off the left-hand side, so it'll readjust to the middle of the road and it'll hit the next bit of the turn and the next bit of the turn. It doesn't keep it dead centre on the way through. But again, nitpicking, really in a desperate effort to try and find faults in a car at this price point. Yeah, as I mentioned, on the motorway, really smooth, and you can bring in the different driving modes. So you've got the driver mode, select down there. So in sport at the moment, you stick it back into comfort, and it does make a really big difference. It just slackens everything off, and it's actually got really good ride quality in there. I thought at first, the first impression that the ride was a little bit firm, but actually once you play around with the settings and get going through into comfort, it's actually quite good. It's better in comfort than it is in eco, and obviously sport firms it up again for more spirited driving. But around town, over our imperfect roads, it handles them quite well. Speed bumps, yeah, no drama. Feels like a solid, well put together car, which it is, because another plus point that Kia offer, of course, is that 7-year or 100,000 mile warranty. So if anything's to go wrong, they will sort it out for you. But no, overall ride quality is really good. So if you were using it for everyday commuting, school run, all that sort of stuff, you're not going to have any complaints with the ride. And equally on long journeys, you're going to be really comfortable in here. On those longer journeys, some of the safety features come into play as well, like the blind spot assist is really good. So you get bright amber light comes up on your wing mirrors, just to let you know something's in there, and that works in tandem with the indicators, the camera that comes up in the dashboard that we showed at the beginning. So you get a good sense of what's going on in there. So yeah, it'll handle the mundane pretty well, and actually get it out on a decent B road, and it is quite enjoyable. Actually, it is just the steering, but I mean, you're not really going to lose too much sleep over that, I don't think, and it's not terrible to the point that it's unusable. I mean, you sort of feel there the traction control starts to work, but it picks up so well, it really does. It's just nothing to fault really in terms of the performance. I mean, 0-60 and 4.7 a car at this price point is pretty astonishing. So I crunched the numbers on the configurator of a well-known German manufacturer. So I tried to get a car with similar options to this. So something with heated and air-conditioned seats, heated steering wheel, panoramic sunroof, electrically adjustable seats, lumbar support, head-up display, all the safety features, adaptive cruise control, all that stuff that comes as standard on this car, and also does 0-60 in 4.7 seconds. So I found one, and the starting price was £55,000. And once you get into adding options to bring it up to the level that this is with all those options, it's £61,900. So it's just over £18,500 more expensive than this. I mean, it's astonishing, really. £18,500. Okay, you might get a slightly more polished product, and we should never underplay the value of brand. It does matter. People are drawn to brands, and it is an important thing. Brand recognition, all that sort of thing, is important to people. But is it important to the tune of £18,500? I can't see how it is. And that really, you keep coming back to that with this car. Away from just the fact that it's great value, it is also a really good car. There's nothing to fault in it. It's really well put together. It's intelligently thought out. It handles bad roads well. It handles long distances well. It handles short journeys well. There's loads of space in here. It's super practical. It's really safe. It's really fast. But it's £43,380. And that's the thing. I mean, we asked at the top, why do we not see more people in these cars? And I can only say this car is living proof of badge snobbery. It's an excellent car, and it is so well priced. It's astonishing that more people don't have them. It's great value, and away from that, it is just a really good car. If you're spending an extra £18,500 on a more illustrious brand, then good luck to you. Like I say, those things do matter. We shouldn't overlook them, but we're not talking about minor price point differentials here. We're talking about £18,500, which you're getting on towards. I'm no mathematician, but not a million miles shy of 50% of the value of this car on top to get a German car that does the same stuff as this. It's astonishing. I also think it's a really good looking car. It's had a lot of positive looks from people, because you just don't see many of them about. There's people, you see people looking at it going, what is that? I've had questions about it. What is this? It's Kia Stinger, and people aren't too aware of it. I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe Kia need to throw a bit more money at their marketing, but keep coming back to the price point and everything else. I mean, this car represents such good value for money. I've been really, really impressed with it just as a car as well. I mean, it's been really good. It's fulfilled every mandate I've needed it for family, domestic use, and also so for having a bit of fun in. Not really much to fault. The only thing actually that I haven't mentioned is the MPG, because that so we've done 152.6 miles and we've got 26.2 MPG. Not amazing, you know. So for company cars and that sort of thing, you know, your bit rate's going to be quite high on one of these. But if you're buying it out of your own money and you don't mind the odd trip to the petrol station, you know, you can put your £18,500 that you've saved towards your petrol bills, and you still have plenty of money to spare. It's been an excellent car. I really like it. Love the way it looks. Impressed with the way it drives. So well appointed. So well thought out. And yeah, I'm amazed that you don't see more of these on the road. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. Please also consider subscribing. We've got loads of stuff on the channel, and the good news is we've got loads more coming up as well. So yeah, please hit subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you again soon for one of those. Thanks.